And welcome to the Tradies Business Show. We haven't done one of these for a while. It's a news flash. Well, it's kind of a news flash. And rather than us really do a really crap job of talking about whatever this is that's happening, we decided to get someone back on the show that knows a lot more about this than certainly I do. And it's not Michaela.
It's like having a reporter. You know,
a
like
roving reporter.
Crossing to the reporter on the side.
We're crossing live to Matt Jones from Tradie Web Guys. Matt, welcome back.
Thank you very much. How are we?
Fantastic, mate. Now,
and the host of the podcast, The Site Shed,
yes.
which we recently featured.
Yes.
Did we break your download records?
I think so. You guys smashed. No,
crashed the servers.
We got a lot of good feedback from that podcast series, so thanks very much.
Oh, that's comforting. So, Matt, what are we talking about today, buddy? Give us the news report.
Well, there's a recent update. Well, sorry, there's a recent notification coming through that came through from Google, our dear friends at Google, in relation to them strengthening their signal on the mobile. What do they call it? It was named in the industry as Mobile Geddon. Basically, in April last year, they released an update to their algorithm, which was basically going to favour any website that was mobile friendly against any website that wasn't. So to break that down a little bit further, I'll give you an example. If you're a builder in Brisbane and you had a website that was mobile friendly, and if there was another builder that had a website that was not mobile friendly, if I was to be looking for, say, Builder Brisbane off any mobile device, so a phone or a tablet or something like that, that algorithm update would give preference to the website that has been built with mobile in mind. So that's kind of a general summary. Did that make sense?
Yep. Because and it's been this way for a while. I mean, the general stats on search traffic and usage is the majority of traffic now is via mobile devices, so tablets and smartphones.
It's probably not. Look, it really depends on the niche and the industry. You'll find, or we find anyway, you know, our clients that typically they're more in a service-based profession, so companies that respond more to emergency services and things like that, they typically have a higher search volume through mobile devices just due to the nature of it. I mean, if you're out, if you're sewer blocks and, you know, you get a phone call from the wife saying, "Hun, the sewer's blocked," you're not going to wait till you get home to call a plumber. You're just going to jump on your mobile phone and call and find the first plumber that comes. So it's a little bit dependent towards the niche. Companies that do, long projects, that may be a little bit different. However, the fact remains that there's an increasing trend in mobile device usage throughout the world. And with that in mind, Google have said, well, okay, we want to provide the best user experience for people out there, and being that most of the people out there are using their mobile devices these days, we want to make sure that when the websites they come to have been optimized for that purpose. So that's kind of the reason why they're moving in that direction of mobile devices and making everything sort of mobile first. It's not to say that your computers are going to become obsolete, but I mean, if you talk to a lot of Gen Yers or even younger, like some of these guys don't even own computers, like they just do everything off their phones and tablets. So you sort of, there's a trend there.
Yep.
And so, how do I find out if how many visitors to my site are from a mobile device or desktop? What's the easiest way?
Look, firstly, I wouldn't be overly concerned with that statistic anyway, because it's ever evolving. The reality of the situation is there's a trend that is moving towards mobile devices. So regardless of what your statistics are currently, it doesn't really make a difference. At the end of the day, this is the way that Google is going. So you either jump on board or you don't, and you'll get penalized for it. However, if you do want to check your mobile statistics, there's a free tool that Google provides called Google Analytics. And if you have a website and you haven't got Google Analytics installed, I strongly suggest you do that because it gives you a good overview of various metrics that relate to search queries and just a lot of stuff that relates to your website. So you can find out, where your searches are coming from a geographical point of view. You can find out things like what kind of devices they're coming from. There's heaps of really cool little features in there. So that's Google Analytics. Anyway, we'll post a link to that in the show notes if you like. But it's a free tool, and you basically just plug a bit of code into your website. And if you're running a WordPress website, it's extremely easy to do. And then it will basically track any traffic that comes to your website, and it will be able to give you a report on it.
So I'm going to jump in and simply say that from my perspective as a business wingman and co-host of the show, if you don't know what the stats are for your website, you're a clown. Get on it. Get those figures because you're spending money on something that you need to know what it's doing. Where is your search traffic coming from? And I'd have to say, Matt, that I get what you're saying, that it's not like, you're not going to fail in business if you don't do this now, but most trades have what I would perceive to be that service-based client or clientele. So people are going to be looking on the mobile, like you say, the pipe's blocked, the switch is tripped out at home, my car's broken down, and certainly the clients that I work with have quite a high degree of mobile search traffic. So, do it now or do it later. You might as well get it done now.
Yeah, I mean, look, the reality is now and this is, I think, one of the reasons. So Google released this update last April, and we weren't really sure. They've never done it before either, by the way. They sort of came out and they said, this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be releasing this. And that was a bit of a world first because, everyone was like, whoa, hang on. You mean, like Google traditionally up to that point, they've always left it up to everyone else to find out. So with all the algorithm updates, it's a matter of, hang on, why aren't I showing up on my search engines anymore? Then you've got to go research what they've done, and they figure out that they've made these algorithm changes, and you've got to sort of do it the hard way. But this one was something they actually said in concrete. They said, no, this is the way we're going. This is the algorithm update we're going to be releasing. And so when they released that algorithm update last year, we didn't really know how much it was going to, like how quickly it was going to happen or to what effect. So it didn't take off as like, it wasn't like a flick of the switch, bang, now your website's not going to show up in any mobile searches. That didn't happen. It was sort of slowly over time. They've been giving more and more preference to websites that are optimized for mobile devices. And now they've just come out and said, look, as of May, we're really going to crank this signal up and we're going to get this happening a lot more. So they can't give you any better warning, basically.
So basically, besides, look, some listeners may say, how do I know if my phone, my website is mobile responsive? Two ways: look on your phone, and if it looks like shit, it's not.
That's a technical term.
Yeah, and if you're pinching and moving things around and you're having trouble filling in forms, then it's not. But there is a website that you can check through Google. What's that?
Yeah, there is. Good question.
Okay, we'll fill while you try and quickly find that site. But we are going to have a special offer for our listeners that Matt's going to do a special package and a discount to make it easy for you to have this update done as soon as possible. And we can't emphasise enough how important it is to have a mobile responsive website, but also a good-looking website, because this is your storefront and you need to invest in this area and keep it updated like you would any stock in a shop. Yep. So that address is...
It's just, if you just Google mobile friendly test, is the name of the Google page. It's got a much longer URL than that, which I won't bother reading out. But if you just bash in mobile friendly test into Google search, it'll be, pretty much the first listing there. You just put in your website URL, click analyze, and it'll tell you how shite your site is.
And we'll put it on our show page as well. So, Matt, 12th of May, is that right? That this is going to start?
Well, they sort of said the beginning of May. They haven't put like a specific date on it as far as what I've read. However, I would just be prepared for the beginning of May.
Right. Well, why don't you ring your mate, Matt Comms, isn't it? The head of Google Search.
Matt Cutts.
Matt Cutts, I
You got the same name.
Yeah, and just say, hey, dude, we're doing this podcast. I need to know
Hey,
the
buddy,
date.
what are you up to? Yeah. Yeah, well, that won't happen. But anyway, No, we will. We'll put some more information in the show notes. I suppose importantly, in relation to like what responsive design website means. So there's two types of websites and that are mobile friendly. One of them is a mobile website, which is typically has at the beginning of the URL, it's an M dot, then your URL. Mm-hmm. So that is considered a mobile friendly website. You'll often see like websites that have a very large, website, they'll have an M dot website because they need to basically to rebuild or to get all the content from their existing website into a mobile version doesn't really apply. However, for the majority of trade-based organisations out there, responsive design is most certainly the way to go, and it's actually the preferred method from Google, because what responsive design does, it has the same website with the same URL, and the URL, is your web address, so your www.yourcompany. And then what it does is, depending on which device you're looking at it from, it will actually change the layout of the content according to the size of the device you're looking on. So if you're looking at a phone, it will move all the content into position. And if you're looking on an iPad, it will move it into another position. And then if you're looking off your computer, it will move it again into another position. So responsive design is basically, most websites, if you're getting a website built today, make sure 100% that it's responsive design, and you shouldn't go too far wrong from that. But yeah, it basically means that it's the same content and it's just being adjusted to suit the device that you're looking from. And
I'd just like to point out that while we were chatting, I just put Tradie's Business Show in there and it came up with a big green box and said, awesome. Your site is mobile friendly, and there's Michaela's and my beautiful pictures with our 99 free marketing tips for tradies in there. So if we can manage to figure it out, I'm pretty sure our listeners can do it with the help of perhaps someone like you, Matt, and Tradie Web Guys. So basically, if you haven't thought about this, go sort it out. Either talk to your web person, or if you need some advice, or if you want to find somebody who's pretty good at this shit, we happen to know somebody. Just go to tradiewebguys.com.au/Tradies Business Show, and there's a hyphen in between Tradies Business Show. Yep. And Matt's got something cool there for our listeners. So,
and we'll link it on our show notes as well.
Yep. And I'm going to put a photo of our mobile responsive website for the Tradies Business Show, so everybody can see how good it looks.
Good on you,
Matt. Thanks for your roving news report, mate. We'll have to get you a microphone, and I'll put some. I've put some cool sound drops in here, so this really does sound like a news flash.
Yeah, right. Okay. Oh, looking forward to
that. Thanks again, mate.
No worries. All right, folks. Well, thanks for your time. And if anyone needs a hand, head across to that link. Otherwise, we'll chat again soon.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the Tradies Business Show with Warwick Bidwell and Michaela Clark. Want to get off the tools and into true business ownership? Find out how at tradiesbusinessshow.com.